Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So this is going to be my semi-spoilery review for the Meg. This is, or any spoilers that are ahead, I will let you know that this is a small spoiler. I'm not going to give any major spoilers. This movie, I liked it. I really did. I think that it is entertainment that can be turn your brain off. Not fully turn your brain off, but it's good. It's not to the ridiculousness of Sharknado, but it does have some ridiculousness in it. I mean, when they go down to the trench in this, small spoiler, Jason Statham has to swim, and he's like 25,000 kilometers down. So, yeah. How he's able to swim without any sort of protective gear is illogical. There is that. This movie does have a little bit of a overthrow or an overflow problem with putting in too many elements. You got some creatures that were seen in the Cretaceous period, because there is a Cretaceous period from the trailer that shows very much what happens at the beginning of this movie, which is the Cretaceous period from 65 million years ago, where the T-Rex gets eaten. You see some of those creatures alive in modern day due to the trench and the thermocline. And you got great visual effects in this. You also got some bad visual effects in this. You got the crazy acting from Jason Statham. I mean, there are a lot of people who give Jason Statham a lot of shit as an actor, and it's like, I'm sorry, I think he does a good job at acting. I think he's actually pretty good at acting. Paige Kennedy is actually improved in this movie, where in the last movie he's kind of a pathetic character. Kind of. He's more of a techie. In this movie he's a techie, but he now knows how to handle himself, and they actually do a good job at explaining that. They actually give him a chance to explain it in the movie, which is great. He still maintains his personality from the first movie, but he also still has a much more updated and realistic personality that fits his new skill sets in this movie. Sergio Paris-Manchetta from Rambo: Last Blood, I thought he was a good villainous character in this movie. He was a villain in this movie. And I thought that he did a great job as being a villain in this movie. This movie does kind of have a small anti-capitalist agenda. I won't say that it was intentional. I mean, I can't say that for sure. It definitely wasn't marketed as such. There was no woke marketing for this movie. So that's why I'm not going to give this movie too much heat. However, with the way that some of the villains act, it is pretty much their main motive is money. And when you hear some of the writing is atrocious in that area, because it really does. It's like, who wrote these scenes? This is terrible, you know. And however, you got good moments in this movie. I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie. This movie is by far perfect. I would actually say objectively, this movie is a 7 out of 10. You have a good movie if you turn your brain off and don't think too much about it. However, if you do, you're realizing there is way too much in this movie to really have a good, coherent story. You have this element here, this element here, this element here, this element here, and this element here. You have 5 basic elements that you're having to cut around and this and that, all to explain what's going on in a good, cohesive story. However, it doesn't cohere very well, you know? Along with the writing in some of the roles, it's just not. I mean, you could tell that this is over-the-top acting with certain roles. There are some good moments in this movie, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there are some pretty tight CGI. I mean, look at the shark right here, right here. They actually do have some moments where that is pretty tight CGI work. And I thought that they did a good job. The 3 megalodons are well done in this. As you can see in the trailer, or in the poster here, you see the tentacles, which they spoiled in the trailer. There's a kraken. And some TV spots that they showed was a kraken. Su Yin, Li Bingbing's character, is not in this film, and that kind of broke my heart, because I would have loved to have seen more character development with her and Jonas. Because in the books they're a couple, and I really think that I would have liked to have seen more of that in this film. However, the girl who was Mei Ying, Sophia Kai, actually I thought she did a good job. She comes back as the daughter, Mei Ying, and honestly, I think that her character is still she's a 14-year-old kid in this. So it's like, I'm not going to give it too much shit, you know? I think that her character is very well done. She's matured a little bit more. She is actually more story influenced. Her and Jonah have a good rapport, because she is basically the daughter of Jonah now. The Asian actor who is the male that we see in the trailer is actually her uncle, so they introduce another character that was not in the first movie, but was around outside of the first movie's events. So he's basically family to Su Yin. Ju Min, I believe his name was in this. He actually did a very good job. He has a very childlike wonder, and a very shall we say, John Hammond kind of sense of exploration and adventure, which is nice. But it also does kind of be like, is he going to be able to get out of bad situations if he gets into them? And they actually show that he can. There's the same ridiculous off-the-cuff humor that the first movie offers. That fucking couple from the first movie, the married couple with the dog Pippin, is in this movie. And I'm thinking to myself, why are they in this movie? What possible reason do they have to be in this movie? They don't. But, you know what? For some reason, they were put back in the movie. Other than that, I would say, subjectively, I enjoy this movie for the most part. I will say that this movie is an 8.5 out of 10 subjectively. I'm not going to say or give full reasons as to why. There are some pretty unrealistic things in this movie that it's like you're stretching it way beyond the bounds of possible realism, you know? Now, believe me, it's Megs. They're not real. Humongous giant krakens, not real. But still, doing stuff with the Megs in certain scenes, I'm like, how? You know? But other than that, moviegoer, it keeps you entertained. It kept my ass in the seat. And I enjoyed it. I liked it, so it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Anyway, yeah, folks, that's going to be my review. So, yeah, objective, 7 out of 10. Subjective, 8.5 out of 10. And moviegoer is a 10 out of 10. It's a good movie that passes the time. Good, if you like shark movies, this is definitely a shark movie for you. However, there was a little bit too much human element in it. Anyway, that is my review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Have a wonderful day, and always remember, stay humble.